Namaste. Today I'm going to read Volume 2, Book 2, Rudra Samhita, Part 5, Chapter 42, Hiranyaksha is slain in the Shiva Puran. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvigaram Karimi Samakaya. Hayom Tatsat. Narada said, I am not satiated by hearing the story of the moon-crested Lord Shiva, including the annihilation of Shankachuta, from you, even as people are not satiated by drinking nectar. Please narrate another story of that great soul. Lord Shiva, who indulges in divine sports, delightful to the devotees by resorting to magic practices, Brahma said, when hearing the story of the annihilation of Shankachuta, Vyasa, the son of Satyavati, inquired of the excellent sage, son of Brahma, the very same matter. Sanat Kumara narrated to Vyasa, the son of Satyavati, the auspicious and admirable story of Lord Shiva. Sanat Kumara said, O Vyasa, listen to the auspicious story of Lord Shiva in relation to Andaka, how the latter attained the leadership of Ganas from Shiva, the great soul. A great sage, it was after a great fight with the gods and by appropriation, Lord Shiva again and again with sattvika devotion, that he attained the leadership. It was wonderful indeed. The greatness of Shiva is wonderful. Shiva protects those who seek refuge in him. He is favorably disposed to his devotees. He indulges in different kinds of sports. When hearing about the greatness of the bull-bannered Lord, the sage, son of Gandhavati, bowed to the great sage, son of Brahma, with devotion and spoke these meaningful words. Vyasa said, O Holy One, O Lord of sages, who is the Andaka, in which warrior family on the earth was this powerful great Andaka born? What was his parentage? What is his importance? O son of Brahma, please let me know all this entirely along with its mystic secrets. You have learnt this well from Kartikeya of immeasurable enlightenment, the son of Lord Shiva. How did he obtain the leadership of the Ganas from Shiva of great splendor? Really, that Andaka was blessed since he became the Lord of the Ganas. Brahma said, on hearing the words that son of Brahma spoke to Vyasa, the father Sukha, who desired to hear about the wonderful sports of Lord Shiva, which gave prosperity to the hearer. Sanat Kumara said, formerly Shiva, the emperor of the gods, kind to his devotees, came to Kashi from Kailasa, accompanied by Parvati, the daughter of the mountain, and his Ganas because he was desirous of sporting there. He built his capital there. He appointed the hero Bhairava as its protector. Then he performed many sports pleasing to the people in the company of Parvati, the daughter of the mountain. Once he went to the mountain Mandara to see its excellent grandeur. He sported much in the company of Shiva and the various principal heroic Ganas. While sporting on the eastern ridges of the Mandara mountain, Parvati sportively and playfully closed the eyes of Shiva of fierce exploit. She closed the eyes with her lotus-like hands, which had the luster of coral and golden lotus. When Shiva's eyes were closed, a great darkness spread immediately. By this contact with Lord Shiva, the rapturous, rotting juice exuded from her hands because her hands became hot by the fire of the eye on his forehead and flowed out in copious drops. Conception took place and a terrible inhuman being manifested itself. It was furious and grateful, blind, deformed and black in color. It had matted locks of hair and fine hair all over the body. It sang, cried, laughed, danced, put out its tongue like a serpent, and thundered fearlessly. When this curious creature arose, Shiva smilingly spoke to Parvati. Lord Shiva said, you did it yourself by closing my eyes. O my beloved, why are you afraid of it now? On hearing these words of Shiva, Parvati smilingly took off her hands from the eyes. When light spread everywhere, the blind being appeared even more terrible. On seeing such a being, Parvati asked her Lord Shiva. Parvati said, "O Lord, what is this ugly, hideous being that is born in front of us? Please tell me the truth. Why was it created? By whom? Whose child is it?" Sanat Kumara said on hearing these words of his beloved, the sportively inclined mother of the three worlds, and the cause of creation of the blind creatures, Lord Shiva himself, indulging in sport, smilingly said, Lord Shiva said, "O Parvati, of mysterious activities, listen. When my eyes were closed by you, this being of wonderfully fierce might was born of my sweat. He shall be named Andaka. You are the cause of his creation, though not in the natural way. He shall be guarded by the gunners lovingly, as well as by you, along with your friends. His well-being rests with you, O noble lady. Pondering over this intelligently, you shall do everything." Sanat Kumara said, on hearing the words of her lord, Parvati was very compassionate. Accompanied by her friends, she made arrangements for his safety in diverse ways, and means as if he were her own son. At that time, the Asura Hiranyaksha desired to obtain a son at the pressure of his wife, who was envious at the sight of many sons of her husband's elder brother. Accordingly, he set out in the season of late winter. He resorted to forests and performed penance for obtaining son. In order to see Lord Shiva, he performed a rigorous penance, conquering the passions of anger, etc., and remaining insensible to external sensation, and does a log of wood. The trident-bearing Lord was pleased at his penance. O great Brahmin, he went there in order to grant him the boon. After reaching that spot, Lord Shiva, the bull-bannered Lord, spoke to the leading Daitya. Lord Shiva said, "O Lord of Daityas, do not curb your senses so much. Why have you taken up this sacred right? Speak out what you desire. I am Shiva, the granter of desires. I shall grant whatever you desire." Sanat Kumara said, on hearing the pleasing words of Lord Shiva, the Daitya Hiranyaksha was delighted. He joined his palms in reverence and humbly bowed his head. Eulogizing and bowing in various ways, he spoke to Lord Shiva. Hiranyaksha said, "O moon-crested Lord, I have no powerful son befitting the race of Daityas. It is for this purpose that I have resorted to penance. O Lord of gods, give me a powerful son. My brother has 5 sons of infinite valor, Prahalada being the eldest. I don't have any son. My family is likely to be extinct. Who will inherit my kingdom after me? He alone merits to be the son who enjoys either the inherited kingdom of his father or the kingdom of another taken by force. That father alone can call himself possessed of a son with such a son. An abode in heaven is enjoined only for those who have sons, as mentioned by the learned and the virtuous. All living beings are active in that respect. A person whose family is extinct cannot have higher regions. It is for obtaining the son that people worship the deities." Sanat Kumara said, on hearing these words of the king, the kind-hearted Shiva was satisfied and spoke thus, "O ruler of Daityas, there may not be a son born of your semen, but I shall grant you a son. My son Andaka has a prowess equal to yours. He cannot be defeated by any. You chose him as your son. You choose him as your son, cast off your distress and accept him as your son." After saying this, the delighted Lord gave the son to Hiranyaksha. Shiva, the great soul, the primordial Lord of Bhutas, the destroyer of Tripuras, the face god, went away, accompanied by Parvati. After getting a son from Shiva, the Daitya circumambulated Shiva and worshipped him with many hymns. Joyously, the noble Asura returned to kingdom. Having obtained a son from Shiva, the demon of great and fierce valor conquered all the gods and took the earth to Patala. Then the gods, sages, and the siddhas propitiated Vishnu of infinite vigor in the form of a boar that constituted all sacrifices and all beings, and was terrific in and was terrific in form. He split the earth by beating and striking with his snout and entered Patala. He powdered hundreds of dachas with his nose and the formidable curved fangs. He smashed the armies of the Asuras by kicking with his legs, dazzling like lightning. He had a wonderfully fierce refulgence with his Sudarshana, dazzling like a crow of suns. He chopped off the burning head of Hiranyaksha and reduced the wicked dachas to ashes. He was then delighted to crown his son Andaka as the king of dachas. He returned to his abode. He lifted up the earth from the Patala by means of his fangs. He sustained the earth as before, eulogized by the gods, the delighted sages, and Brahma, Lord Vishnu, of huge body, who had assumed the form of a boar, finished the task and returned to his abode. When Hiranyaksha, the king of Asuras, was killed by Vishnu, assuming the form of a boar, the gods, sages, and other living beings became happy. Footnotes. (230) Satyavati, mother of Vyasa, was also called Matsya Ganda, Menaganda, or Gandhavati. Okay. 282. Sukha was the son of Vyasa. He is said to have narrated the Bhagavata Purana to King Parikshit. 285. For the conflict between the blind Asura Andaka and Lord Shiva, Matsya Purana, chapter 179. For the symbolical interpretation of this episode, see Matsya Purana, a study, pages 275 to 277. 286. It refers to Hiranyakshipu, the elder brother of Hiranyaksha. The former had 5 sons, while the latter had none. 287. The fourth pada of the Sanskrit text is obscure. Hence, the present English translation of the relevant portion is conjectural. 288. The ancient Indian scriptures hold that a person cannot enter into heaven without having a son. The present context shows that this view prevails even among the Asuras. 289. The custom of adopting sons prevailed in ancient India. The adopted son enjoyed all the prerogatives of the natural son. He could offer oblations to his adoptive father when he expired and legally inherit his property. It is evident from the present context that the practice was in vogue even among the Asuras. And here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Om Prabhu Prananatam Vivum Veshwanatam Jagannatanatam Sanatapacham Putipatam Veshra Bhutanatam Shivam Shankaram Om Kapurakaram Karanavatartam Sansarasaram Bhujagendrahadam Sadavasantam Hridyaravinipavam Om Hum Jum Sambura Samtirambaka Mejamaskumashtivaram. Om Jayante Mangalakali Badrakali Kaparintragakashmashivtas. Om Tuya Mata Chapita Tuya Mashu Tuya Bandusha Chasaka Tuya Vidyata Binang Tuya. Priyam Tatsat.